Hello everyone, this is Kubo, and this is my laundry talk. Hello, this show is for my language improvement, nothing else. So I would talk whatever I want to talk today. It's almost Halloween, so I would talk about my personal horror story. Episode 9, I believe. I was just reviewing what I was talking about, and I'm gonna talk about exact same thing. Just because I was not happy how I was talking. It's not best work, so this is my revenge. Let's get started. So this happened about 10 no, that's not 10 years ago, about 7 years ago when I was 20. I was university student at that time, and going back to around that time. So summertime, I remember it was August, I came back to home, which is Shizuoka Prefecture, and I had planned with my old friend. Those friends are from Twitter, interestingly. When I was in high school, I wouldn't say I was famous, but I was very active on Twitter, and I had a friend through Twitter, and we didn't form any group or anything. However, we had a connection, and we never really had opportunity to gather even when I was in high school. But around that time, one of us actually brought up about this memory, and then why don't we gather and catch up. We've never really had a chance to talk in the pub or anything, and now we can drink, so why don't we meet up, kind of thing. So I went home, parents' house. I was spending my time, relaxing time. Then one night, I do believe, one of those Japanese pub, Japanese izakaya. We went there with, I wouldn't imagine, but I believe it was 7 people, 8 people at the little booth. And we just started chatting. It hadn't been a while, so we were talking about how we've been doing. I was living in Tokyo at that time, so I was sharing how my university goes. I was listening because some people were already working. It was a really interesting time. And again, we didn't really have personal connection prior to that. It's more about entertainment. It's more about what's fun when I was high school. So yeah, it was cool to see those people. And then in the middle of party, one of the girls said, "Oh, I actually have 6th sense. I can see auras, I can feel, I can see ghosts, etc." And we were interested in it, right? What do you mean? Like, what can you see? What can you tell us anything? She said, yeah, I wasn't gonna mention, but in this group, there's one person who is haunted. And we were like, what do you mean, haunted? Who is this? She was like very hesitant, like, I don't know if I want to tell this or not, etc, etc. But we are so curious, so like, just tell us, it's fine. It's fine. And then at the time I was like, I don't know. I wouldn't say I believe in ghosts, but I definitely enjoy those mysterious spiritual things. Just as an entertainment, I hope it's not offending any ghosts around me, but I do enjoy that as a content. I don't necessarily believe. And then I was so curious, right? I'm like, oh, I don't know who that is on me, who's gonna stay. And she said, okay, that's actually Kubo. You are haunted. I was like, okay, tell me about it, right? And she kept telling me that like I've got a woman right my side, around my shoulder, and she sounds very mad or sounds very not happy about myself. And I was like, okay. And then of course we were drinking around that time, so we were like half joking. I'm like, okay, sure, I mean, if that's the case, blah blah blah. And then we just kept talking, we just having fun, we took photos, blah blah blah. And then at the end of the night, she came to me after, just before we say goodbye to each other, and brought me a little glass thing. I don't know how I can explain this, but a little like glass figure that has red apron. And then she said, this is some kind of, what's we call it? We call it omamori. So, one of those, protector for you. And then I was like, okay, thank you so much. I just put them in, put that in my wallet. And then I left, right? Then, afterwards, nothing happened. Couple weeks, and came back to Tokyo. At that time, I had two jobs. One is at the Japanese restaurant in Kanagawa, and then another one is pizza delivery service in Kanagawa as well. So you know, as a student, I went to school, and then after work, I go, you know, part-time job. Then one of my colleagues from Japanese restaurant asked me if I'm interested in going to fortune telling. And then again, I do enjoy those spiritual stuff. I'm like, okay, why not? I've never done it before. I don't know if I want to do it continuously, but I've never done it. I've never done, so I never know. So I went there, right? And so like we went to Shibuya, we found a place through Google, we just walked in. I mean, this is just separate, no, but one of the fortune tellers, she charged me, I think $75 for a 45-minute session. I was surprised how expensive they are. At the same time, this is gonna be my first experience. I wanted to make sure it's gonna be legit. I don't know, legit is a good word, but you know what I'm trying to say. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. I don't wanna cheapen out kind of thing. So I went into the room. My colleague didn't accompany me because, you know, we had a separate session, and then she was talking about my ancestors, like who's protecting me, my grandpa is here, he's happy, blah blah blah. And then after those conversations, we're in a dark room, right? And then she's just shaking her hands that I'm gonna see more details about you, blah blah blah. And then she said, you know, have you ever hurt any woman before? That was a question. I was like, I don't think so, right? I mean, at the point, I was like, what do you mean? I don't think I've ever hurt anyone. And And as she continued, she told me that, yeah, I have to say there's one woman standing just right side of me and trying to tell me something. I was like, okay, I've heard that from someone. I didn't tell her, right? I was told by my friend that I've got lady in next my like right shoulder, and I was like, okay, I guess that's what's happening. And according to fortune teller, that lady is from my past, and then she's not dead. However, she has some kind of hatred towards myself, and she is not happy about me. And I was like a little bit creeped out at that point. I just genuinely never felt anything like that, and I just couldn't take that as a coincidence just because two people are saying the same thing. I was like, okay, maybe those things happen, let's see. And then I came out from the booth and you know, met up my friend again after the session, and I was asking, you know, like, how was the experience? And she was like, yeah, it was okay, I don't think I would do that again. And then I'm also like, okay, yeah, sure, I don't think I would do that again. And I shared about my experience, right? But like the fortune teller was telling me that I've got a lady here, and then one of my friend also told me about this, and yeah, and she was like, okay, interesting, I've never heard like that, but I guess you gotta be careful, hey? That kind of thing. I was like, yeah, and then I didn't really scared. Of course I gotta chill, but I'm like, okay, sure. And a few weeks passed again. I was working at the other job, which is pizza delivery service. It was a regular day. I was working weekend. It was kind of slow, and then I usually deliver those pizzas by motorcycle. So I was just having a regular day. I was just delivering pizza, and at one moment I was going down on a steep hill. It's fine, just regular hill, just going down, and then I was about to cross the intersection. It was four-way stop. I saw that the car was coming in, but I stopped and then I came in first, so I kind of went straight first. But the car coming from right side didn't stop, and then of course the driver noticed in the middle, so she braked, and then but it just happened suddenly and she hit me. That's fine, right side. I didn't really think about anything about that, right? I got hit in my head. Oh, I was worried about my bike. I was worried about my work. Oh, I don't know what's gonna happen, because I didn't get hurt so badly. I was just fall down, and then I was able to stand up and everything. So we would do, you know, we called the cop and then just do all those paperwork, came back to work, and then we did other paperwork and then everything. Sure, it's fine. I got hit right side, but again, I didn't really think about anything about the lady in the right side. And what was scary for me was afterwards I came home, all the paperwork is done, and then when I saw my body, my right shoulder was fully bruised. Even though the car didn't crash me, it's just more like a close to touch rather than smash. But still, I've got like bruise. And I was like, interesting, I've never really thought about it, right? But I was so tired, so I decided to go for, you know, eating out. I was not ready to cook or anything, so I went to one of those beef bowl place, and I opened my wallet, and when I saw the coin case, if you remember, my friend gave me a little glass thingy, was shattered. It was fully shattered in my wallet, and that's where it clicks that, oh my god, is this the lady in my shoulder? And that's the end of the story. Since then, I haven't had any problems. I'm hoping that because I wasn't true to myself, I was afraid to be who I was. So I'm hoping that because now I accept who I am, I embrace who I am, so she's not bugging me or anything. However, that was a very scary experience for me, and I'm glad that I survived. I want to make a peace with her. And that's the end of the story. Thank you for watching. Bye now.